One Conestoga, built during World War II. The U.S. government believed there would be a shortage of aluminum available to build aircraft, so they sought designs for aircraft made from what were called non-strategic materials. This generally referred to wood, but Budd Company, who built railway cars, experimented with spot-welded stainless steel, and there was early interest from the Army and Navy. But the expected aluminum shortage never developed, and only 17 of these were built. This one you're looking at was used by some freight companies, but was eventually abandoned for many years at the airport in Douglas, Arizona. If you're not familiar, Douglas is about 2 hours southeast of here on the border. It was donated to our museum in its current condition in 1978. On the right side, we have some light civil aircraft from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. These aircraft were designed and built to provide personal transportation for individuals. I find this interesting. Many of these planes were sold as kits. The pilots would build themselves in their own backyard. The military also used these as small transport aircraft for pilots who'd been assigned to non-flying duties to help keep up their flight skills. Okay, go to the left side. On the left is the Vickers Viscount airliner. On your left, the plane with the turboprop engine. The Vickers Viscount is the world's first propeller, turbine, turboprop airliner, designed and built by Vickers Armstrong of Great Britain. 445 were made from 1948 to 64, and the aircraft flew for over 60 years. Last one retired in 2008. This plane you're looking at was the first turboprop airliner in North America that flew from Toronto to New York City for Trans-Canada Airlines, holding 40 to 63 passengers and 3 to 4 crew members. Okay, this one on your right side has quite the unique history. On your right, it's a Sikorsky S-43 Baby Clipper. It's an airliner from the 30s used by the Navy and Marine Corps. In the 30s, many airliners were designed as seaplanes because airports were not common, but lakes, rivers, and oceans made useful substitutes. The Baby Clipper could hold 15 passengers and 3 crew members. This plane you're looking at flew for Inter Island Airways in Hawaii in the 30s and 40s. Here's where it gets a little interesting. It later flew in Alaska, damaged in an accident in the 1950s, and it spent the next 30 years underwater in a lake. Recovered by a member of the U.S. Marine Corps, we now got it. Someone once asked me, can it still fly? And I said, I won't want to find out. If you take a quick look to your left, on your left is the restoration area where all the hard-working men and women work on aircraft on that side of the fence that eventually, hopefully, get on this side of the fence. Let's go back to the right side. On the right side, after World War II, we see the next generation of airliners take shape and form the constellation the Connie. This was due to newly built airports during World War II. That Connie is a silver plane on your right with TWA in red. It was one of the first long-range civilian airliners to go into service after the war, carrying between 44 and 81 passengers and 6 crew members. This aircraft you're looking at is the 10th Connie built and the oldest one left in the world. It flew briefly with the U.S. Army Air Forces in 1946, returned to Lockheed to resold the TWA, where it flew from 1947 to 61.